Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Make sure you hit the likety like button on the way in, please. Happy Juneteenth, y'all. Happy Juneteenth. I would give you guys a history lesson on what Juneteenth represents. However, because everybody has a phone and Google at this point, if you really care, I suggest you look it up. But Juneteenth is for American descendants of slaves, foundational Black Americans who were finally freed from slavery. Now, with that being said, Fat Joe. Y'all know who Fat Joe is. Fat Joe is the lean back, the what's love, let me take you home rapper from the Bronx, who not too long ago said some very interesting things about foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slaves, and decided to not only use the N word consistently, which I still do not agree with still to this day, but decided to say that FBA is a hate group. Said, they're broke ninjas, just a lot of different things. And, Math Hoffa, Moist Math Hoffa was laughing, thought it was funny because, of course, he's not FBA ADOS, and neither is Fat Joe. Well, interesting enough, on this day of all days, this day, Juneteenth, that definitely represents the struggle of my people, ADOS, FBA people. Fat Joe gets hit with a $20 million lawsuit. Interesting, right? Of all days, Juneteenth, yes, Fat Joe got hit with a fat lawsuit. Now, this was actually filed in the U.S. District Court, Southern District of New York, same district court that Diddy is in. And this was actually filed by his former employee / hype man, Terrence T.A. Dixon. I wonder if Terrence T.A. Dixon is ADOS FBA. I'm just curious. I wonder if he is. But anyway, he filed a lawsuit in federal court against the rapper on Thursday, today. Dixon is alleging that his former boss, whose real name is Joseph Antonio Cartanga, I don't know how to say his last name, engaged in He engaged in not only labor exploitation, financial fraud. I can't say a lot of these words, you guys, because of course I'm only like 4 or 5 minutes in, and some of these words I can't use anyways, but S, manipulation, V, intimidation. Yeah, he's pretty much saying a lot of stuff, and that he said that he was deliberately suppressed, silenced, and erased from the creative and artistic and commercial contributions of Fat Joe's professional success and his personal brand. And he is seeking up to $20 million in damages. Now, interesting enough, for 16 years, this man worked for Fat Joe for 16 years. Dixon served as Fat Joe's so-called hype man and common figure in hip hop. And he also contributed to the background vocals and the lyrics for Congratulations, Ice Cream, Money Over the B Word. Never heard of those songs. So at this point, he is represented. Check this out, you guys. He is represented. Make sure you guys double tap the screen or the 3 dots to your upper right corner. You can hit the like button there. Thank you so much. According to this, Dixon is represented by Tyrone Blackburn. Now, who is Tyrone Blackburn? Tyrone Blackburn is also the lead counsel in a high-profile case against Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs. In February 2024, Blackburn filed a lawsuit on behalf of Diddy's accuser, Little Rodney. Sounds familiar? Yes. So Dixon is being represented by Tyrone Blackburn, who is also representing Little Rodney. Okay, so quite interesting. Now, Dixon states in the complaint that Fat Joe forced him into humiliating situations, including acts performed under duress and surveillance, accompanied by threats of abandonment in foreign countries. So he pretty much said, I will leave you in this foreign country and you won't have a way to get back home. He said he was forced into more than 4,000 acts to maintain his standing within the enterprise. Okay, so more than 4,000 acts with his standing in the enterprise. The most shocking, the suit claims that Dixon personally witnessed Fat Joe engage in SA with underage girls. And he gets very specific with a 16-year-old Dominican girl in New York who, in exchange for cash and clothing and payment of her cell phone, would do certain things. He also mentioned a minor doe too, who was a Caucasian female and not a U.S. citizen. And he claims that Fat Joe allegedly was having, you know what, with that minor when she was 15. Sick, sadistic, twisted stuff. Like sick. And they're saying the defendant flew minor doe 2 to New York City and Miami, Florida on multiple occasions due to minor doe 2 being an adolescent and not fully formed. And that apparently defendant paid for her to get a BBL. And they're saying that minor doe 2 eventually left the defendant and is now married to a personal athlete. I mean, why I say person? Lord have mercy. Excuse me. Professional athlete. Child, sorry, y'all. I'm up here looking at the chat and trying to do this at the same time. So, yeah. So, whoever this minor was eventually left Fat Joe allegedly and is now married to a professional athlete. Now, there's another minor doe 3, a Latina female who was 15 years old turning 16. Now, I hope all of this stuff he has proof of. I hope he has proof of this. And the fact that they're naming so many, I'm wondering if some of these girls are stepping forward. Because that's, you're saying all of this, and you're pretty much saying Jane Doe's minor does, but are they willing to step forward? Defendants in this suit also include Pistol Pete Torres, Richard Rich Player, and who the complaint refers to as key associates in Fat Joe's criminal enterprise. So they're pretty much, he's kind of putting it out there like it's some Diddy stuff. Like, this is some Diddy stuff, like some T-ing stuff. Y'all already know what I'm talking about. Because that's why they're making it seem like from New York to Florida, they cross state lines. So y'all already know where this is going. The suit additionally names Jay-Z's Rock Nation, claiming that the company, which represents Fat Joe, knowingly participated in concealing, transferring, and manipulating Dixon's rights and royalties interests and sought to intimidate, harass, and obstruct the hype man's legitimate claims against Fat Joe Torres and Jasparti. I don't know how to say that guy's last name. So now Rock Nation is involved in this. According to the lawsuit, the defendants engaged in deliberate tax fraud schemes in an effort to conceal their extensive wage theft, to artificially inflate Dixon's tax liabilities, expose him to unwarranted tax audits and penalties, and systematically obscure the exploited labor. The complaint cites a whistleblower accountant who came forward last year, as well as a recorded phone call that helped paint the picture of the alleged misdeeds. So he may have proof. The move comes after Fat Joe sued Dixon in April for slandering him on social media by claiming the Bronx-born rapper, who enjoys high-level political connections, flew a 16-year-old girl across state lines for you know what. That suit also named Dixon's lawyer Tyrone Blackburn, claiming the pair tried to shake him down for a settlement. So in other words, Fat Joe tried to sue. He's trying to claim or allege that Fat Joe is trying to sue him before he could come out with his own lawsuit. So if he did this in April and is just now coming out in June, I'm wondering if they needed to get all of the evidence and paperwork together to actually do this. I don't know. This could just simply be a situation that's going to eventually disappear. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know it's quite interesting, especially because it's Fat Joe. So moving on. This is the right way to fight Joe, through the system. You can't fight him no other way, Dixon tells Variety in an exclusive interview. Joe thinks he's a god. Joe thinks he's untouchable. I would have to agree with that, the way that he acts and the things that he says, and he acts like he doesn't need to apologize or even respect others, because even when FBA and ADOS came after him, he stood 10 toes down on what he said. So I would have to say that. I would have to agree that he thinks that he's untouchable. Dixon's suit against Fat Joe goes much further than his social media post and states that he endured a wide spectrum of sexual escarsion. I can't even sit up there and say most of these words because they would just like trigger, flag. But pretty much these S-based abuses were not private, incidental, or isolated. They were integral to the enterprise culture of dominance and humiliation enforced by the defendant's associates, such as Pistol Pete, JB, and others. So Fat Joe is represented by celebrity criminal attorney Joe Tocopina, who has defended everyone from ASAP Rocky and Donald Trump. Now, who's paying for this attorney for Fat Joe? Do Fat Joe even got the money to sit up there and pay for this attorney? I'm just curious. Dixon claims that the activity took place in Market America's corporate yacht and at his mansion properties. Fat Joe orchestrated these freak-offs, is what he's saying, but with the O word. Yeah, this pretty much sounds like Diddy activity. Make sure you guys double tap the screen, 3 dots to your right. This sounds like straight up Diddy activity. Now, of course, at the end, they had to mention that Fat Joe has been with some of the biggest names in politics. Of course, they had to mention that. They had to mention some of the names in politics, which one, of course, is our former vice president. They had to mention that. They had to. So with that, y'all, Well, yeah, what kind of coin does he have? Does he have a coin to fight a $20 million lawsuit? I don't know. Hey, you guys, what's up? What's up? Yeah, Sloppy Joe and D. I don't know if it's true. I hope not, but I can't be surprised anymore. This is the industry. It seems like it, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem like this is the industry? Because at the end of the day, it just seems like every time we turn around, something is popping off. Something is popping off. And he may feel like he's untouchable, especially with who's he's affiliated with. You know, people have been talking about Rock Nation for years and the things that they're willing to do. So maybe he feels like if he has Rock Nation on his side, this stuff can be taken care of. I don't know. But what I do know is I find it very interesting that it happened today. I feel like that was done on purpose. First of all, the federal courts, aren't they closed today? It's a federal holiday. Like, it's a federal holiday. So when they said on Thursday, I said, how could they submit this on a Thursday? It's closed. So I feel like maybe they submitted it last night and they wanted to actually make an announcement today on Juneteenth of all days. Maybe that's the case, but I was just like, it's a federal holiday. Post office, everything else is closed. So yeah. Well, it's more and more of it is coming out. I'm reading from Variety, but a lot of people are talking about it now. It's kind of making its way through the circuit. But baby, when I saw this, I said I had to hop on. I had to hop on. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was just like, wait a minute now. See, one thing about it, God and our ancestors don't play about us. They don't. You find me anybody who has just blatantly disrespected American descendants of slaves, foundational Black Americans, and had a major platform and just literally just came out just completely disrespectful and didn't ultimately get their karma in one way, shape, or form. Now, again, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if it's true or not. But what I do know is that Fat Joe, sir, maybe you need to humble yourself. And maybe you're just getting your karma that you rightfully deserve. Because you was sitting up there using the N-word left and right and ninja this and ninja that and these broke ninjas this. I don't care where you're from. You're not Black. And if Black people have an issue with you using the N-word, you should check yourself. But again, people want to say, oh, because he's from New York, it's acceptable. No. I have friends who are Latino, and they ain't never used that word, even in just casual conversation. So, yeah. And the fact that he had nothing to say when everybody was coming at him about how disrespectful it was, he had nothing to say at all. I have heard that. Now, I don't know how true that is. Hey, Belle, that he allegedly stole Big Pun's Pun's publishing. I don't know how true that is, but because the reality is I have consistently heard over and over again that Big Pun was really the guy. He was really the guy. And if Big Pun didn't pass, it would be Fat Joe who? You know what I'm saying? So we're not all viewed the same. That we're not all viewed the same. We're only viewed the same when it's convenient for people like Fat Joe. When it's convenient for people like Fat Joe, we're all the same. If he could separate himself, he will and would. So at the end of the day, we're not the same. You know, and I think, like, honestly, more and more we're seeing that, because see, for me, Black people have always been to the rescue and always been forgiving of other people. And I think it's over and done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's over and done. So at the end of the day, yeah, we're not the same. Yeah, I understand. I lived in New York for years, but again, we're not the same. We're not the same. See, I would like to have that kumbaya situation, just like I would like to have that kumbaya situation for Black people who come from other countries. But the reality is, you do have certain allies from other countries and certain allies, but then you have some who truly despise Black Americans and have a certain view of Black Americans, very disrespectful towards Black Americans. Sometimes they worse, you know what I'm saying, than people who are like white supremacists. Like, they come off like white supremacists sometimes, straight up. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, we're not the same. And to me, Fat Joe, the fact that he didn't have no regards for how people felt about the situation says a lot. Says a lot. Hey, you guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? So yeah, so that's the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reality of the situation. Fat Joe is probably gonna say it's a lie. Yeah, exactly, Bill. Exactly. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for, Bill said, I hate when other Black people talk down on Black Americans. Right. Because if it wasn't for us being free labor for this country, your people wouldn't even be here. Your people wouldn't even be here. Your people wouldn't even want to come to this country. So again, a lot of them, when they come over here, they think they're white sometimes, and they feel like they're untouchable. You know what I mean? And they believe in the hype of, you know, what people want to assume about Black Americans. So, but yeah, Fat Joe, honey, Math Hoffa got his a couple of months ago. 1 million subscribers, but can't even hit 2,000 in some of his videos. And literally got his barbershop, but wasn't even his barbershop, taken from him, allegedly. And now Fat Joe, which was interesting because I remember when I made those videos, there were some people who were saying, well, why you so mad at Math Hoffa? He's not the one who said it. Fat Joe said it. Well, here we are with Fat Joe. And as far as I see, it's someone who doesn't stand up and try to correct a situation on their platform. They're just as guilty as the person who said it. All Moist Math Heffa did was laugh at it. He laughed at it. He thought it was funny. But yet he can't pay a light bill. Now, mind you, that light bill apparently was $7,000, which sounds ridiculous, but you know, you walking with furs and everything else, like you this big dude who making all of this money. $7,000 should be chump change to you, bruh. Right? Right? So we gonna have to see what type of evidence they have. Now, I don't know what type of Tyrone Blackburn. What I do know is I know with Little Rodney, apparently where Little Rodney actually had proof and actually, I think, had video of what was going on. I don't know if this Blackburn is an ambulance chaser, so to speak. Double tap the screen, 3 dots to your right for the like button. Please hit the like button. I don't know if what kind of proof he has. I surely hope that he does have proof, though. Because clearly, if Fat Joe gave you a lawsuit in April and you're just now coming with a counter lawsuit in June, I'm going to assume either you were trying to gain all of the evidence or you needed an actual attorney who wasn't afraid to go against Fat Joe and Rock Nation. Because let's be clear, the fact that Rock Nation is actually in this lawsuit too, he's coming after Rock Nation also. So what do you guys think? Let me look at the polls. Is Fat Joe getting his karma? 71% of you say yes. He's getting his karma. So, yeah. Rodney's case was full of lawyer mistakes, so most of it was dismissed, but was all of it dismissed? Cases, certain parts of cases can get dismissed all the time, but are there still cases that are still sticking, or is everything dismissed? And again, depending on what type of proof he had, maybe he's making sure that he can come with this one correct. Have been getting dropped left and right. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I know one thing though. When you talk about underage and putting that type of stain on someone, whether it's true or not, and that's what makes it really unfair. But whether it's true or not, the reality is that once you typically have that on you, people step back. People step back. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, this may hurt him regardless. Isn't Fat Joe broke these days? He hasn't released an album in years. Yeah, I'm surely would like to know exactly what Roc Nation is doing as far as representing him is concerned, because I'm confused on what he's actually doing. I guess they're his management team, but what has Fat Joe been doing? Like last I heard, he was doing a podcast with Jadakiss. Other than that, that's it. That's all. Have y'all heard that he's done anything else? So I don't know what that man is doing. Make sure you guys double tap the screen, 3 dots to your upper right hand corner to hit the like button. Thank you. So yeah, I don't know what type of money he has. And if apparently his Big Pun's wife sued him for publishing and she won, that means some money had to be owed to her. Let me see. Has Fat Joe filed bankruptcy at one point in his life? Let's see. Fat Joe bankruptcy. I feel like I saw that before. Let's see. Okay, so he has not filed bankruptcy. He has faced financial challenges related to taxes and record label debts. In 2013, he was sentenced to 4 months in prison for failing to file taxes. Additionally, he has stated that he still owes money to his former record label, Atlantic Records, despite selling millions of records. So he has definitely had tax issues. He definitely has had tax issues. And notice what I just read to you guys. He is mentioning that he was doing some fraudulent stuff with taxes. Oh, please believe me. They are about to look into this. Oh, they're about to look into this. Even if he does not have proof and he just wanted to file this, don't think that this is not a light bulb for people to start doing an investigation in the background when it comes to Fat Joe. Don't think that they're not. That gave the feds a ping. What? Fraudulent taxes? Let's do an investigation. Oh, so regardless, I think that he has definitely put something out there that, whether it's true or not, unfortunately may hit him in some kind of way. The feds will be looking at him. Yeah, they was apparently already looking at him in 2013, allegedly for tax issues. So now I'm wondering if they've been looking at him or they're going to start looking at him again. Big Pun widow filed a lawsuit. Yeah, apparently that's what I think Belle said, that she filed a lawsuit. Joe can make money by acting. He did act that one time in that Q-Tip movie. I don't think I've seen him in anything else. I don't think I have. I don't think, has he acted in anything else? He only did the Q-Tip thing, if I'm not mistaken. Big Pun, Fat Joe lawsuit. I'm looking this up, you guys. Fat Joe settled a lawsuit with Big Pun's widow, Lisa Rios, over unpaid royalties. The lawsuit stemmed from claims that Fat Joe had withheld significant royalty payments owed to Big Pun's estate. While the specific term of settlement remained confidential, it is known that a music royalty expert testified that Big Pun was underpaid by at least $2 million. The settlement was reached after years of legal battles and accusations of financial mismanagement. Well, Oh, okay. He was in night school. Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. Yes, prison song. Yes, I remember that. That's the only thing I've seen him in. But you're saying he was in night school. Can he act? That's the biggest question, though. Can he act, or was he just placed in there for oohs and ahs and a hookup? Because when I saw him in Prison Song, I wasn't really that impressed. Thicker Than Water was the movie. Okay. Okay, so maybe he has been acting. So why can't he get any acting roles? Is that what Rock Nation is representing him for? Hello, New Destiny. Big Pun Widow got her coins. Well, then we really got to see, if Big Pun got that money. Something tells me that lawyer that he has, though, Rock Nation is paying for it. I don't know. Just give me a vibe. This is my opinion. I feel like Rock Nation is paying for that attorney. And trust and believe when he start making some type of money for Rock Nation or whatever money he's making for Rock Nation gonna make sure that he pays back for that attorney. But yeah, I have a feeling that he's not coming out of pocket to pay for this attorney. Not that high power attorney. Well, he been acting like a rapper for Kevin. Well, he's been acting like a rapper for years. Man. Shade, but hilarious. But yeah, you guys, man, happy Juneteenth. Not a happy day for Fat Joe, though. I'm sure social media is tearing him up right now. I'm sure they are tearing him up. Do you hear me? Because you already know the trolls be trolling. You know they going in on him if he hasn't shut down his comment section already. I am sure. And you already know the big time bloggers who are ADOS and foundational Black Americans, they are going to have a field day with this. They are going to have a field day because at the end of the day, I haven't seen any celebrity try to come for us and it hasn't got them in trouble in some kind of way. I'm just saying, you got to be mindful how you talk about people who literally laid the foundation for your people to be here in the first place. You got to be mindful how you talk about folks. Fat Joe was in the Def Jam fight for NY video game. Really? Yeah. Kevin got us with that one. He been acting like a rapper for years. And let's be clear, it took a group effort for the rapping because it was Terror Squad. Like, I don't know if Fat Joe has had any solo songs that has really hit it without the Remy Ma's and the Terror Squad. Yes, happy Juneteenth indeed, famous. I know literally we are just like sitting back, American descendants of slaves right now and being like, sir. Double tap the screen, 3 dots to your right for the like button, please. He played Crack a Fighter for Crow, Snoop Dogg. Crack a Fighter for Crow. What? You talking about? Oh, you talking about the game? You talking about a game, support gaming? Because I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so we'll have to see what happens. You already know his attorney's going to try to come out, say the allegations are false. Child, I can't keep up with all of this drama that's going on with these celebrities. Like seriously, like I cannot. Well, TMZ hasn't talked about it yet, but I guess they also feel like he may not be that big of someone to talk about, to be quite honest. But maybe they'll eventually get to it. But it's not like, breaking news for them. It's not breaking news for them. But yeah, people are starting to hit their grounds as far as seeing this information. Complex, Page 6, The Wrap, all of them are starting to talk about it now. It's coming out. Yahoo, they're all coming out now talking about this. So it's going to be everywhere probably by the end of the night. So it's definitely a lot going on, period. Man, when Cat Williams said it's going to be the year, he meant a couple of years. A year clearly is just not enough because 2025 is a whole nother beast. I was literally just talking about Tyler Perry yesterday, and then here we are dealing with some other sick, demonic, twisted stuff. Fat Joe is looking forward to his day in the playground. I mean, court. Well, look, at the end of the day, look, everybody, as much as I don't respect this man and how disrespectful he is, and mind you, I felt like Fat Joe was disrespectful even before his comment about FBA. Remember when he did the what was it? What was the versus singers versus rappers? What was that they had during 2020 because of everything that was going on? What was that, versus, if I'm not mistaken? When he did versus, remember when he was sitting up there using the B word left and right, talking about, I think, Little Mo, and like, he's just, to me, just a flat out disrespectful type of dude. He's very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, he comes off like that way. Like, he don't care. He's just gonna disrespect you, and he don't care. And females at that. You know, so he just comes off that way. Yeah, versus. Thank you. Because I was just like, because remember, there was big heat about him calling Little Mo and some other women, like, you know, the B word, and Little Mo addressed it. And Remy Ma tried to come at her, and Little Mo was like, don't come at me. This is my feelings on the situation. Yeah, calling them, you know, yeah, he was going just it was ridiculous. Ridiculous how he's just so vulgar and mean for no reason. Like, those women didn't do anything to you. You know what I mean? And guarantee if someone talked about his family member like that, he would have an issue with it. Yes, Cat Williams for president, indeed. Man, indeed. Cat Williams, because I tell you, he was like, don't play. The truth is the light is God's side of the other side. And I think the other side is getting exposed left and right. I think God said enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm tired of y'all. I'm tired of y'all sitting up there treating good people you know, disrespectful way. I'm tired of you, you know, disrespecting my name. Like, he like, yeah. So y'all about to get exposed. Terrorizer. Maybe Cat likely meant 2024 would be the year of exposure would begin, and later seasons will get deeper. Yeah, that's clearly the case. He sure did. Cat Williams was not, he literally said all of that. Like, I'm truly starting to think that he was truly a vessel for God. He went out there and God was like, okay, I need you to say everything that I'm about to do. Okay, I need you to say everything I'm about to do, expose who you need to expose, but I'm about to just say everything I'm about to do so people can't say they were not warned. Still to this day, I think that is the biggest interview that YouTube has ever seen. But again, when people they always feel like it'll never be them. And literally, a lot of the names that he said are getting exposed now. That can't be a coincidence. Even the person he sat with allegedly got exposed to. So, yeah. With that, you guys, let's continue the conversation. Warning comes before destruction. You better say that again. You better say that again. I feel that God gives all of us time to repent and to change our ways. I do. I really do. So at the end of the day, though, it's up to you. But I'm not shocked by what this guy said. And he literally said that Fat Joe thinks he's a god and he's untouchable. I'm not shocked by that at all. Which hold up, y'all. Hold up. This is a coincidence, but I just realized something. Fat Joe's former hype man, his name is Terrence T.A. Dixon. The guy accusing Tyler Perry of SA and all of that other stuff name is Derek Dixon. Is it not? Is it not? We got two Dixons who are literally coming forward to expose. What are the odds of that? A Terrence Dixon and a Derek Dixon exposing Tyler Perry and Fat Joe. in which I believe they all kind of are in the same circles, are they not? Are they not? I mean, let's just keep it real. They all seem to be a part of the same circle. They're all friends with everybody. Now, I don't necessarily know if Fat Joe and Tyler Perry are necessarily, I don't know if they're friends, but I do know that Tyler Perry is really cool with the Carters. You know what I'm saying? And, who owns Rock Nation or a part of Rock Nation? So, again, it's these circles. Child, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? And honestly, I feel like it's the reset we need. Unfortunately, you can't save everyone. And what do I mean by that? You're going to have people until the end of time defend these celebrities like their life depends on it. I don't know why, but I just feel like these celebrities have a certain hold on people, and they always want to come to a defense of people that celebrities, they don't know you. They just want your money. But I think it's a good reset. Like, I feel like it's a reset of all of the bad things. All of the people have been doing bad things for so many years, getting exposed. And maybe finally good people can get their fair share in the world. Maybe. Definitely not surprised whether true or not. The fact that people are not surprised say a lot about the life he led. With Perry, the world been knew what was said. The Boondocks been called it. The Boondocks called it out. I talked about that yesterday. Pause. I remember still to this day. That is probably the best. That one in the R. Kelly episode are the best episodes of the Boondocks. They called it years ago, which in my opinion tells me they had an inside source telling them what was going on. Because interesting that Dixon, what he claimed, Derek Dixon, what he claimed were very similar to that pause episode. Very similar. But I just found it interesting that this is a Terrence Dixon and a Derek Dixon. I'm not saying they have, they're related, but I find it interesting that both of their last names is Dixon. That is very interesting. Boondocks for the win. You dang on right, Famous. They took Boondocks down. We need a Boondocks back. We need that type of reality with a comedy relief back. We do. We really, really do. Because it's so missed. I miss good shows like that. That gave you a harsh reality. And then talked about how ignorant things are as far as, our community and things like that. Yeah. I love that show. But yeah, you guys, so happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. I was going to just post happy Juneteenth on my community wall. But then when this came out, I said, well, let's celebrate Juneteenth and talk about this. Yeah. Now, here's my thing. I am not happy for Fat Joe's demise. I don't even know if this is going to be a Fat Joe demise at this point. But what I do know is that people got to be mindful about what they say and who they come against. That's what I do know. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he stood 10 toes down on his ignorance and didn't care that a good amount of people that apparently was supporting him were ADOS FBA. So you got to be mindful. I knew it was true when Perry got mad at the Boondocks episode and tried to get banned, and it failed because the episode still ended up online. Yeah, it sure did end up online. Now, I don't know. From my understanding, they claim he had a lot to do with the show not getting renewed or whatever the case may be. But I think his name was Aaron Magruder, if I'm not mistaken, is the actual creator of Boondocks. He's always going to be a salute in my book. He is always, because he was unapologetic with what he said and how he said it. And he has some of the top actors who were actually doing voiceover work. Regina King, John Witherspoon, rest in peace, Cat Williams. So they was here for it. They was here for it. So yeah, you guys, we'll have to see. But again, You got to be mindful. You have to be mindful. The same people you meet on the way up are the same people you meet on the way down. You got to be mindful how you treat people. And the stuff that has come out of Joe's mouth, he definitely has this attitude like, and what? What you gonna do? Now, usually when you dealing with a minor, whether it's true or not, it gives you a stench, a stink that usually can't be removed. Even with the Jay-Z situation, he claims, I don't know how true it is, but he claims he lost millions of dollars just because of that being placed out there in the news, which may explain why Beyonce hurried up and did another tour less than a year later to try to make some type of revenue. So, yeah, usually when these type of things happen, you lose money. So if Jay-Z, who is considered the top of the totem pole of hip hop, lost money, what is this going to do to Fat Joe, who at this point is going the podcast route? I wonder if he's going to talk about this on his podcast. Probably not. His attorney's going to probably tell him to shut up and stand down. Yeah, Aaron Magruder made the show. He is basically what Huey pretty much is in the show. Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, you guys, I just wanted to bring this to you. Let's continue the conversation. It seems like 69% of you guys are saying this is his karma. This is his karma. We'll see if this changes him or humbles him. Maybe not. But again, I don't know what it's going to take for these people to wake up. I don't know what it's going to take for them to realize that everyone is touchable. No amount of money, no amount of crew, no amount of, you know what I'm saying, fixers are going to be able to fix certain things for you when it's your time. When it's your time, nothing, not even your money can solve it. Ask Diddy. Now, a lot of people feel like Diddy's going to get off, but at the end of the day, he will forever have this tainted on him. So when your time is up, your time is up. And when you're doing deviant stuff, it's time to get exposed. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if he did this with minors, but what it appears is for sure is that someone who worked for him for 16 years is very upset with him and feels that he did not get the money, the notoriety, the publishing that he actually deserved. And considering the fact that he had already had a lawsuit with publishing and things like that from Big Pun that he claimed was like family to him, I can't put it past him on this Dixon situation, because just based off of what I read, he has been known to allegedly do this before, which is why Big Pun's wife had to take him to court. So this is why I say y'all got to be mindful of who y'all consider your heroes or who y'all consider your idols, which you shouldn't be idolizing anyone but God. But you got to be mindful and stop defending people that y'all don't know, because it seems to me a lot of these people are able to get by and make their money is because they're screwing so many other people in the process. That's the way. More and more, if you start looking at all of this stuff, all of these cases from Diddy to Tyler to this Fat Joe situation and so many others, you notice there is a pattern that the way these people have made their money is to literally screw other people and not give people their fair share, allegedly. That's how they've been able to maintain. From Diddy's assistants saying how much they get paid, but they literally are working, 22, 23 hours in a 24-hour day. And how if overtime was granted to them, they would literally be owed hundreds and thousands of dollars in overtime, but still only getting paid $50,000 allegedly. What is $50,000 going to do in New York City? What can that even do in New York City? You can't even be eligible for an apartment anywhere in New York City. So it seems like a lot of these people exploit others to make their money. But I guess for some people, they just want to be numb to it as long as they're entertained, right? then it's not an issue unless it happens to you or it happens to someone you love and money's coming off of your table, and money's coming off of food's coming off of your table, money is coming away from you, then you want to get upset. But to me, right is right and wrong is wrong. Every single lawsuit that we have seen, every single situation we have seen, it comes across that these people literally will take from other people to make their money. They don't believe in people getting their fair share. It's a cold game. It's a cold game. But eventually, people do get exposed for their dirty work. So with that being said, happy Juneteenth. Let's continue the conversation below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.